Hey everybody, welcome. I'm Anna Willis from thecommonblast.org. I wanted to come in today and do a live video and show you guys how I simplify my homeschool using Sonlight Curriculum. So there's a couple of things that I want to share with you guys that really makes my life easier, and I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. So I'm going to show you how I get my whole homeschool week together, all my plans for the homeschool week together in only 5 minutes, which really it's just 5 minutes. I'm going to show you how I use my Sonlight Instructor Guide to fit my family and my kids' own learning pace, not anybody else's learning pace. So I'm going to guide you guys through our Sonlight curriculum and how I use it, how I organize it, and how I can make it really I can make my life so much easier using Sonlight curriculum. Hi, Lolita. So I'm going to show you guys the heart of my homeschool, the spine of my homeschool, which is our big binder. So this is our Sonlight big binder. I'm going to show you guys inside in a minute. You see how thick it is? Like, honestly, this is like everything I'm going to teach my kids for Bible, history, geography, literature, their readers, science, everything is inside here. Then I have a second binder where I keep our language arts from Sonlight as well. So I have the language arts that my two oldest are going to be using here. And then I have a smaller one for the language arts that my youngest one is going to be using. So one thing that I love about Sonlight, like there's a million things that I love about Sonlight, but one thing that I love about Sonlight is that it facilitates, it helps me, it ease out my life because I can teach my kids together. I can group them and teach them together. So I don't have to buy a full curriculum for each one of my kids. Otherwise, I'll be broke by now because I have 3 kids. And there's no way I'm going to split myself in 3 and teach them all separately with completely different curriculums and different focus on different subjects. So I love this about Sonlight. So I can use the same thing that we are working on for science or for history or for geography with all 3 kids, but I can accommodate each one of them on their own level. So of course, if I am teaching American history to my 3 kids, I would expect my 9-year-old to be able to write book reports and write, about it, as opposed to my 5-year-old where I'm just going to expect her to narrate back to me what she's learning. So the way that they're going to use it, it's going to be different, but it's still the same curriculum. I'm still only one mom teaching 3 kids, but still going in one direction, not 3, not 2, not 4, not 5. So this is actually a huge bonus, and that's one of the main reasons why I do Sonlight. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I organize and I use my Sonlight Instructor Guide and how I prepare for my week. Because I think this is something that there's a lot of misconceptions about using Sonlight. Some people think that actually it's a lot of work, and it's absolutely not. And I'm going to give you the reasons why. Some people think that it's overwhelming because we have to read so many books every year. Another misconception. I'm going to tell you exactly why it's not. So the first one, people think that it's just a lot of work to use Sonlight. Well, first of all, let me tell you that I do 0 planning every single year. 0. Sonlight does it all for me. Like everything comes planned and organized, all my notes, even the script that I have to tell, that I have to tell my kids how to do things. Everything is in my Sonlight Instructor Guide. So I can enjoy my summer, go to the pool with my kids, go to the lake, go to the beach, do everything that we want to do without having to sacrifice my summers to be planning for homeschool. I really feel for the moms that I see them doing videos or they just sharing on their Facebook pages saying, oh, I finally finished week 8 of our homeschool planning. And I'm thinking here, oh my Lord, I'm just so thankful. I don't have to do this. I don't have, it's so time consuming and it's so exhausting. And first of all, I would be so overwhelmed if I had to plan my own homeschool that I would have given up homeschooling. I probably would. because as a busy homeschool mom, as a busy mom, period, put the homeschool aside, I want things that are going to make my life easier and not more complicated. So for me, it's very important that they do all the work for me, and all that I get is chewed on, and it's like it's a proven strategy of how to teach my kids the best way, and you know, the right order to teach them the curriculum. Like, everything is already done for me. So why am I going to try to reinvent the wheel if I can get it all done? Another thing that I hear is that people say, oh, you need to read so many books. How do you do that? It's easy. I don't do all the books. I do the majority of the books. I don't do all the books. Sometimes we will get some of the books that we need to go and do the read aloud. We love the books, and we try to read as much as we can. But sometimes I'll go and get the audiobook, and we listen to the audiobook instead. And yet we still keep the book in our library, because I know that later on, as my kids get more and more independent as readers, that they will go back to those books and read. Why? Because they already know the story, because they already fell in love with the story, because there's not even one book that Sonlight recommends or added to their curriculum that is not absolutely captivating and life-changing. So you don't need to do everything. By the way, this is something that every homeschool mom needs to know since the beginning. You don't have to do everything. You can do everything, but not everything at the same time. The other thing too is that you can use your readers instead of the kids reading the readers during homeschool hours. Let them read for bedtime. Let them read on the weekends. Let them read, you know, when they just feel like reading a book. So you make a little basket, or put some, you know, I personally put the books that I want my kids to read in their bedrooms for them, next to the beds. So hey Kay, I'm so glad you're joining us. And that way I can stimulate them and motivate them to read those books in their spare times. So it doesn't necessarily have to all fit within our homeschool hours. And the other thing too, just keep in mind that homeschool happens, learning happens all day, every day. You don't need to have set hours for everything. So these are just some of the tips, besides what I want to share with you guys, that really, really helps to simplify my homeschool and to make my life easier and to make us as a homeschool family more productive. You know, we need to respect our own family's learning style and learning pace as well. This is very, very important. So if you are a family that is fast-paced in your learning, that's great. But if you're not, if you're slow learners like we are, because we like to savor everything, because we like to create memories while we're studying together, then just take your time. So I'm going to show you guys inside my instructor guide, and I'm going to show you how we use it. I'm just going to have to fix this tripod and turn it around and make sure you guys can have a nice view of this instructor guide. Okay, let me turn this around. Okay, let me just bend this down. It's a learning curve for me because I'm still learning how to use this, but I'm gonna get it down a little bit more. So you guys just bear with me. Ooh, there we go, almost there. Almost there. Okay, that's better. So I'm going to show you guys inside the instructor guide, and I'm going to tell you exactly how I do this. Oops, let's get this down. All right, so, oops, I don't want this to fall. Okay, so inside my instructor guide, this is what you're gonna find. You see how they had assembled this for me, and they had used the tabs on the side. So I have 36 tabs. Each tab is corresponding to a week of our academic year. So if I go straight to tab number 1, that's my first week of homeschool. Everything is inside here that I need. Tab 2, second week of homeschool. So it's all super organized here for me. But I want to show you guys the beginning of it and how they organized the instructor guide. So there's a laminate map at the beginning that will have all the places that you're going to talk about that year in your homeschool and a little bit more. So every time they mention in your instructor guide, you can go back to the map. It's going to tell you exactly where to look for, and then you can point it out for your kids, besides the maps that you already use in your homeschool. So there is an introduction. This year we're doing Sonlight D, which is Introduction to American History. And this is year 1 of 2. So the whole curriculum, it's made for you to do it in 2 years. We are taking slower because by our requirements here in British Columbia, we need to do Canadian history as well. So and this is something that I figured out with Sonlight, and thanks Sonlight for all their advisors. You don't need to finish everything in 1 year if you don't need to. You can get a Sonlight, let's say a Sonlight year of curriculum and do it in 1.5 years, or do it in 2 years, as we have done our Core B, our Sonlight B. So you can do that as well. Your kids are learning, they're learning tons. I mean, academically, Sonlight is so high. It's an amazing curriculum. They will learn above and beyond the average of what the kids are learning public school anyways. So you can, instead of using your whole year in just, your whole Sonlight core in 1 year, you can use it in 1.5 years, and then in 3 years you can do 2 full cores, or you can do it in 2 years if you need to, if some of your kids need to catch up so they can all be on the same level, learning the same thing. So we're probably gonna do this in 1.5 years or 2 years. I'm planning for 1.5 years. We'll see how far we can get it, because I need to do American history and I need to do Canadian history at the same time. So we're splitting with both of them, and it's so nice how they weave together, and how there's so many things that you're going to be touching on the American side of the history and the Canadian side of the history. And I'm actually really excited to see this happening. So here's going to tell you exactly all the books that you're using, and I love how Sonlight organized this. So I know that for Bible, I'm going to be using these 3 books here since week 1. I know that for history, I'm going to be using Pedro's Journal on week 1, and then the other ones, 2 other ones on week 3, and there's more on week 5, more on week 6, more on week 11. Then there's new book coming in on week 23, and another book on week 27. So it tells you exactly what weeks you're going to be using those books, so you can get them ready in one place, organized by the order that you're going to be using them. So I think this is really, really helpful. So you got the read alouds for the kids, and you got your readers, which is actually the read alouds for the family. These are the books that we're going to read together. And then you have the readers that your kids are going to be reading independently. And if you choose to, you can have the advanced readers as well. If your kids are devouring books and they read more, there's a lot more books that you can add to your curriculum. Okay, so, and same thing for science. So here's going to tell you exactly the books that you're going to be using for your science curriculum. Oops. So you know the order of weeks that you're going to be using them, which is right here. So again, you're not using all of those books at the same time, you're just using a few books at a time, sometimes just 1 book at a time. And remember, you're going to be homeschooling for a whole year. So if you think about it, it's not even a lot of books. But anyway, so I want to show you guys how I organize my things for my homeschool week, and how it takes me only like 5 minutes every week to do this. So what I do is, instead of using this huge big binder every day to teach my kids, I get just a simple skinny binder. This I bought at Costco for like $7. What I do is I remove the weeks, like the first 4 weeks, sometimes 6 weeks. It depends how we're gonna be doing this. But I'm gonna go for 4 weeks. So I remove the first 4 weeks from my big binder, and I add it to my skinny binder, and I put my big binder away. Now, this map, I recommend that you keep this. Oh, I should be doing from this side here. I recommend that you keep this laminated map in your skinny binder. Then I put my big binder away. So I don't need it until 4 weeks from now. So I can just put it away. So here I have my skinny binder with 4 weeks of history and geography and science. I have my map on the front. Now I'm going to show you inside exactly how what you have and what you do. So this is your schedule and it's already done for you. And this one is a 5-day schedule. You can choose a 4-day schedule or a 5-day schedule. But it doesn't matter how many days in your schedule you have. Again, you're going to do it on your own pace. So I can do this in 5 days. I can do this in 10 days if I want to and if I need to. All I need to do is kind of just follow the sequence. And sometimes if my kids are really enjoying a book, instead of just reading a little bit every single day, what I do is I read like 2 or 3 days worth of reading and I just mark them down here on my schedule. That's why I don't need to do planning because it's already done for me. Another cool feature of the Sonlight Instructor Guide is that for each day that you're teaching your kids, there are all the notes already there for you. So you will know exactly what to discuss after you read. If there's any activity that you put on your timeline, we use a timeline book. So this will be our timeline book, which is Charlotte Mason really recommends that you do that, a book of time, right? So this is blank timeline from 5000 BC to present time. We have one that we did with our ancient history, and actually I'm using this one exclusively for American and Canadian history. So I'm excited about doing that. So it's going to tell you the map points. Remember I told you it's going to show exactly on the map where you find that, where to find further information, all the pages that you're going to be doing. It just has everything that you're going to use. This is my full week of history, literature, geography, and Bible right here. This is it. This is it for my first week of homeschool. It's all laid down here for me. This is all my science. Again, we don't do science every single day. So even though it says 5 days there, I actually combine everything in only 2 days. We only do science 2 days a week. So you use it according to your own schedule and to your own pace. You don't need to be doing everything exactly how it says here. But it's just amazing how it's all like all done for you. All you need to do is just follow and follow the way that works for your family, the way that works for you. Never be a slave of a curriculum. You make the curriculum works for you. Hi, MJ. Hi, Melissa. So this is awesome. I love this about Sonlight. Again, this is everything I'm going to teach this week for my kids. I know Sonlight is awesome. Sonlight IG. So this is everything I'm going to be teaching on the first week of science to my kids. It comes with the worksheets that my kids are going to be using. So these are the worksheets, and these you can see right here. Those are the answers, the answer keys. So this is everything they're going to be doing for the first week of science, right? And also tells me the book. So quickly, I'm just gonna show you how we're gonna do this with the box. So here it says I'm gonna be using Real Science for Kids, Biology Level 1, and also Discovery and Do Level 3 DVD. So that's all I need to grab from my bookshelf. So I'm gonna use that one, the Biology Level 1, and I'm gonna use the DVD. So here it is. So if I'm planning for my week, I'll just go and grab my books. Make sure I put them right on the front of the line there on my bookshelf, so I know this is all I need for my science this week. And I'm using this with 3 kids at the same time, so I'm not really splitting myself in 3 or 10, teachers. So this is it. This is how easy it is. This is how uncomplicated Sonlight is. Again, week 2. So on week 2, History Bible. I'm just going to show you guys like how you get your books together for the week. So I'm going to show you, this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be reading from the Bible. Then we're going to read, my students will be reading from the Discovery Bible. And then we're going to be using the American Indian Prayer Guide. So here it is. This is the Bible that my kids are going to be doing their reading from. I do my reading from my own Bible. This is the American Indian Prayer Guide that we're going to be using for this week. And most of the weeks, those two are going to be used over and over again throughout the year. And we use the Sing the Word, Grading Counsel, and Mighty Indeed, that I actually have the DVD in my car because we already start to listen to it as we drive around. So basically this is it. So for history, we're going to be reading Pedro's Journal. I did not want to get those books before. I wanted just to show you guys like how quick you can get all those books together. So here's Pedro's Journal. This is what we're going to be reading. And then for read alouds, this is what my kids are going to be reading. Then for read alouds, we have Secret of the Andes and A Child's Introduction of Poetry. So we're going to be doing those books together. So let me see. Secret of the Andes. I have it here. And then our poetry book together. So this is the book we're going to be reading together as a family. And this is A Child's Introduction to Poetry, which I love this book. I'm so excited about using this because part of our homeschool this year, we'll be doing a lot of poetry memorization. So it comes with a CD with all the poetries that we're going to be reading in the book. And it's just so beautifully done. And one of the things that I love about this is that it does teach you about the author, about the writers. So here you learn about the poems and you learn about the writer, which is this one is William Shakespeare. So the first poet, Homer, and then you learn about poem. Then you listen to a part of the Iliad. It is a fantastic book. So this is part of our week. So I'm just going to pile them up here so you can see those books that we're going to be using for this week. These are the books we're going to be using for this week. And then for a reader, again, we're going to be reading this. A Lion to Guard Us. I know my son will read this in an hour or two because he is a voracious reader. So again, not a lot of reading at all. So this is the pile of books that we're going to be using on week 1. So yeah, this is it. And then they have some more readers they're going to be using for their language arts as well. So I wanted to share with you guys how I get ready for my homeschool week in 5 minutes. And if I didn't have to be explaining those things to you guys, it will be done in 2 minutes, honestly. Because that's all I need to know. I need to know that I'm going to be using those books right there. And exactly what we're going to be doing here. That's all I need to do. It's open and go. I don't need any more than that. And I already shared with you guys how I made Sonlight's IG fit my own schedule in our own learning pace. So I hope that this has really helped you guys to demystify some of the things that people think about Sonlight, that is time consuming, there's so many books to read, that is overwhelming, and that you need to really do everything every day following what is in here, because that's not how it is at all. Let me just turn this back to myself now. All right, I'm back. A little bit crooked here, but I'm back. All right, you guys, do you have any questions about Sonlight? I wanted to just disclaim that even though I'm a brand ambassador and I write for Sonlight blog, that I don't really get paid to do anything like that. I don't get paid to tell you guys about it, or even if you go and buy Sonlight, I don't get commission. So I just wanted to let you know that what I'm sharing with you, it's really what has been working for our family in this past 5 years. And I couldn't imagine myself actually homeschooling without Sonlight. I just couldn't. I couldn't bear the thought of having to pick my own books and having to, you know, do my own planning for every week of the year, which is it's just overwhelming, or having to learn and read about it before I teach my kids. I will have no life, honestly, if I had to do anything like that. So Sonlight really simplifies our lives in so many ways. It's been absolutely a blessing and a joy to use Sonlight with our 3 kids. They are voracious readers because of the Sonlight curriculum. I know, it is a time saver. It is a time saver. And another thing too, I want to talk about the myth that people think that Sonlight is expensive. Sonlight, it's not expensive at all. And it's not a box curriculum that you cannot change anything in it. On the contrary, you have your saying, you pick your own math, you pick your science, you pick what works for your family, the core that you want to go with, the theme that you want to go focus on. You pick all your language arts. Like we use our Explode the Code with all of our kids. We pick our own handwriting. So for handwriting, my kids, like they have the option of we have two options here. They can choose what they want. But it's not a box curriculum that you have no saying on that at all. The idea of a box curriculum is simply because everything comes in the same box. Just like if you were shopping at Amazon, you know, even though you shop from different manufacturers and different books, different curriculums from different authors, it still come in on the same box. So don't think that, you know, Sonlight is really this box curriculum that you're completely limited to whatever comes in it, because that's not true. Another reason why Sonlight Curriculum is really not expensive is the fact that Sonlight is the only curriculum company that I've heard of that offers payment plans, and depending on the time of the year, up to 12 months to pay for your curriculum. I wouldn't be able to afford giving my kids such an amazing education if I was not using a payment plan with Sonlight. You know, so you can have like different payment plans that you can choose from, like 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. It just depends on the time of the year that you order your curriculum. So if you order your curriculum in May is the best month to order with Sonlight, because you're getting 12 months to pay for your curriculum. So you give a down payment, which is, I think it's 30 or 40% of your curriculum, and then the rest you're gonna pay like every 2 months or something. You pay installment, which it makes my kids have this amazing Christian education with phenomenal books that is, you know, it's just everything is just ready and done for us. And we calculate that a year using Sonlight for us as a family costs us about $90. That is what we are using with our family, $90 a month, which is nothing, absolutely nothing. Even if I was paying $150 a month, still, like, that's nothing compared to how much we spend with other curriculums out there, and you have to just pay all at once. Another reason that Sonlight is not expensive is that Sonlight is the only company that I know that offers you advisors every day when you need it. Which means is like, I have my own homeschool mentors and advisors to help me with anything. I just grab the phone and I call their 1-800 number, or I can chat online with them and I tell them what I'm struggling with. It's not just curriculum related. I can call them and say, like, hey, I'm having a hard time teaching my 3 kids together because my oldest is 9 and my youngest is 5. So how can I do this in a better way? And the advisors will help you, which is brilliant. I don't know, like, I remember at the beginning of starting with Sonlight, calling them like 3 or 4 times on the same day, and yet they were always there, super happy to help me. They would just give me the best ideas and ways to implement the curriculum with my family. It's just phenomenal. So this, for me, it makes Sonlight cheap because you're getting a curriculum, but you're also getting your own personal homeschool advisor. That's what you're getting with a package. And you're using the payment plans. And the fourth thing that I have to point it out is Sonlight has the Love to Learn guarantee that I haven't seen with any other curriculum, which means that if I use this curriculum right now that I just bought, the Sonlight D, okay, so let's say this is like my first 4 weeks of Sonlight. If I use this for up to 18 weeks and I still think it's not a good fit for my family, I have written all over it, I've used the pages, and I still think that it's not working for my family, guess what? Sonlight is going to give you 100% refund for it. 100% refund for it. No other company will do that for you. No other. It's just because they have so much confidence in what they're putting in the homeschool mom's hands that they can offer this Love to Learn guarantee. It's absolutely amazing. Even if it's another book, let's say I have so many books that we buy from Sonlight and we use with our kids. Let's say my kids use Explode the Code. Oh goodness. Oh, here. So I bought Explode the Code for my kids to use, and then my kids start using it in the middle of the book. I'm like, this is not working for us. Like, this is not good enough for us. What do? You contact Sonlight. It's part of the Love to Learn guarantee. So it's absolutely amazing, you guys. No other homeschool company will do this for you. So that's why I can come with confidence and boldness and tell you guys there is nothing like it. Nothing. Seriously, I don't get a penny for doing this. I don't get commission if you go and buy it and spend thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars. It doesn't really matter. What matters for me is just to let you know my own experience and demyth some of the stuff that I hear out there about Sonlight. If they are not happy, it's because they are not really doing the way that they're supposed to do it, or they are not really reaching out to advisors for ways that they can implement in their homeschool. So I hope that this has blessed you guys and encouraged you and giving you some ideas on how to simplify your homeschool. Group your kids to teach them together. You know, make sure that your curriculum is working for you and you're not a slave of your curriculum. Make sure that you're creating a schedule and using a schedule according to your family's learning pace instead of everybody else's learning pace, because that's not going to work. Make sure that, you know, you are focusing in doing less but well in your homeschool. You don't need to do everything. Take your time doing it. We had years that we didn't finish reading all of our readers, and guess what? Our kids were reading the readers during the summer. So you're still going to use it anyways, but you don't have to do it everything at once. So if you guys have any questions about Sonlight, I'll be glad to answer you guys. Just shoot me a message, the comment here, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.